The way either quarterback is throwing today, if they have been affected by this gusting and very common wind here at the Giant Stadium? Dave Brown is being affected by excellent coverage by the Eagles. And I try to put myself in his shoes, and nobody's open. Eloiso, as Jerry predicted, keeps it on the ground. It is picked up by Fred McCrary, a rookie fullback, and that'll be the final play of our first half. So Dave Brown struggles. There was a turnover by Rodney Hampton, which the Philadelphia Eagles returned on Michael Zordich's fumble recovery. 58 yards he scampers. And then the Eagles got in on a nicely executed and orchestrated drive by Rodney Peete. An 8-yard touchdown run by Ricky Watters. And here at Giant Stadium, it is 14-6 with the Eagles on top of New York. So, Jerry, you said error-free football was key for the Giants. They have made errors. You said Hampton has got to have over 25 carries today, and Rodney Hampton has carried just 8 times in the first half. And Rodney told us in practice he was going to carry with his left hand, and he was going to ward people off with his broken right hand. He was going to hit the defenders with his right hand, and we caught him carrying the ball in his right hand, got hit by Kurt Cavea, out came the ball. And when you score on defense, it's a 14-point turnaround. It's like giving you 14 rather than 7. And on the Eagles side of things, their special teams look very little improved from the previous week. The first kickoff, they were excellent. They were in their lanes. Everybody looked good. And their second kickoff, they went too deep. When you and I are running down the field covering the kickoff, we never go deeper than the ball. And the ball, you saw 3 people pass the ball up, and they were closer to the end zone than the return man, and bam, you get it cracked and broke deep on you. Eagles have won 2 consecutive games, and with the win today, they would go not only 4-3 for the season. With the bye coming up next week, they would also go 3-0 in the NFC East. Eagles 14, Giants 6. Dockers halftime coming up next after these messages from your local Fox station. Holding on to a halftime lead of 14-6 over the New York Giants. With Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan, some of your impressions on that first half. The defense of the Eagles is shutting out all the wide receivers. Brown, the quarterback for the Giants, has no place to throw the football. Then a defensive score is like 14 points. When you score on defense, and that's the difference in the football game. From a guy who rarely fumbles, Rodney Hampton. Watch Kurt Cavea, and here's 8 in the box with the strong safety. And there's, watch it, hits the ball on a broken hand, carrying the ball with a broken hand. Kurt Cavea knocks the ball out of Hampton. And here comes Michael Zordich, Mr. Hustle, guy that all he loves to do is play football. Stay in bounds, don't watch out, be careful. And a defensive score is 14 points. Man. All right, down to the sideline we go, and here's Pam Oliver.
All right, Kevin, I caught up with Dan Reeves in the tunnel. I asked him, what kind of second-half adjustments are you making? He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, well, that would imply that we did something in the first half. So what he's looking for his team is to come out here, execute, do a better job, stop with the middle mistakes, and just try to do something. But he acknowledges that the Eagles are playing extremely well. Back to you guys.
Pam, real quickly, can you stick on and tell us about an update on the wind? It was ferocious before the game. How is it here at halftime?
It's really kind of died down, and with the sun coming out, it's made things a little bit warmer. I've been in the tunnel, and it's not nearly as bad as it was to start the game. Thank you very much. Pam Oliver on our sideline for us as Gary Anderson tees the ball up for the Philadelphia Eagles, leading at halftime 14-6. Special teams, everybody on the Eagles is watching the kick. They're all on the sideline. Terrible kick. It'll be taken by Brian Kozlowski. And he is up to about the 41, where the Giants will begin things. First down and 10 yards to go. Kozlowski is a backup tight end, and through 30 minutes of play here in the Meadowlands, here, Jerry, are the first half numbers with the Eagles on top, 14-6. Turnovers, although they're 1 for 1, one turnover is a direct result of picking up the ball and going the distance, scoring the touchdowns. And remember, a defensive score is like a 14-point turnaround. Giants begin the third quarter, first down and 10. Rodney Hampton sent up the middle, and he bangs his way to the 49. Boy, all kinds of people got a hold on, and finally Kurt Cavea gets off of Hampton. He has a nice run up the middle. And that run, he had what's called a flat back. His body gets on a 45 lean. When he comes up through there, he will not be running straight up down. Watch how he gets a flat back
Now he has the ball. He's straight up. And now, look at there. That pad under pad, low man wins.
Hampton, who gained 7 on first down, takes it on 2nd and 3 and nears the 48-yard line where he has to get to, but he does get into Eagles territory. Ronnie Dixon makes the stop.
And I like what the Giants are doing. Evidently at halftime they said, one thing we can do, we can go in there and smack the Eagles around with Rodney Hampton. Let's go after him. Let's hit him. In the last 2 plays, he flat backed him on both times. Low man wins. Only guy could stop him on that was Kurt Gavea. Head on head.
18 yards away from tying Morris. 19 yards away is Rodney Hampton from becoming the all-time Giants rushing leader. We're talking about a lot of years, too, of a lot of running backs.
A lot of good players.
Yeah. That's the first down, yeah.
That's the way to come back. I like the way they're starting the second half, but don't give up on that. Don't say, well, we did that. Let's screw up now. Let's stick with it. Let's find something we can hang a hat on if you're a Giant fan. If you're an Eagle fan, they'll start building an 8-man front to stop that by bringing up the safeties.
First down and 10 for Brown at the 48-yard line of Philadelphia.
There's Zordy's walking up right now.
Blitz is on. Handoff. Hampton, nothing. Ronnie Dixon again.
The Eagles are well coached. They didn't like that slam ball, so up walks Zordish, in walks the linebacker who's going to blitz, and he's going to replace his responsibility. So they're still zone, and there's Kurt Gavea right in the backfield. They said, you got 2 long runs on us, 5 yards a crack. We're going to line up 8 people in there.
On 2nd down and 10, Brown, pretty good time, but again, flushed from the pocket, and down he goes, and brought down by Kevin Johnson. 4th sack today of Giant quarterback Dave Brown.
Why isn't the ball coming out? Why is he not throwing the football, getting away from these sacks? Because nobody's open. And I said that, I know you're thinking, what? Somebody's got to be open. Nobody's been open. I'm up here at the 50-yard line. I got a better look than Brown does, but I'm seeing the same thing.
Brown now will face 3rd down and 11 with 12:53 and the clock ticking here in the 3rd quarter. Once again in the shotgun, and once again he is deployed. 4 wide receivers. Brown hit once, hit twice, sacked for a 5th time. Back at the 41. Stubbs hit him high. Harmon hit him low. And the Giants have got a punt.
And they're real close to getting Mike Mamula offsides again. He jerked and flinched, but he didn't penetrate. You'll see a little jerk, a little flinch here, but there it is. But he hung in there. Holding the ball. You cannot hold the ball. You can't read. You cannot read the commissioner's name. You got to bring it out of there. His name's on the ball. Just throw it.
Bad snap again. Luisa almost blocked. It's away. Or to Horan with the block. Calvin Martin takes it the other way. And Calvin Martin with the punter to beat Horan is tackled by Horan. At the 48-yard line, 47-yard line, a marker is down at the 45.
That's a tackle by a punter with proper technique.
You don't see that often.
This is something. We got to get this. We got to get a copy of this and hang it in the Louvre.
In the where?
In the Louvre, where they hang those good pictures. Yeah. You never see a punter. Watch this. A punter's got his head in front.
Substitution on the kicking team.
Watch this.
Player did not come inside the numbers.
Look at that.
Off the sideline. Penalties decline. First down. Timeout.
Horan can be hung in the Louvre for making a tackle as a punter with correct technique.
Great view on top of Giant Stadium, and Randall Cunningham has come in to replace what we feel is an injury situation to Rodney Peete. So Randall Cunningham, who is the talk of a lot of trade possibility earlier this week at the deadline on Tuesday, is in the game, and he hands off to Ricky Waters, who works his way for 4 just outside the Giant 45. Then C. Glenn makes the stop in the Giant secondary.
2 tight ends. Remember, go back to the start of the game. If you got 2 tight ends in the game, here's a tight end, here's a tight end. A lineman is going to pull. A lineman is going to pull and lead up through the hole. Here comes Guy McIntyre pulling that time, trying to get it open.
Cunningham with the 2nd down and 6 at the 46 gives to Ricky Waters, and Waters bulldozing his way to the 43.
And this is exactly how they started the first half. Two tight ends, pulling linemen, and running Ricky Waters right up through this. So this is a carbon copy of that first drive where we think Rodney Peete got hurt on that first drive. We think that's why he's not out there.
Our Pam Oliver still chasing the story on the sideline. We should have it to you in the play or two as the Giants put in passing personnel. And the Giants will try to hold the Eagles, and the Eagles have not had a first down since 2 plays into the second quarter. 3rd down and 3. Eagles lead it 14-6. Cunningham with time, with the throw. First down pass caught by Calvin Williams to the Giant 36.
And nice throw. A lot of people wanted to give up on Randall Cunningham. I don't believe Rhodes ever gave up on him. He was looking for a spark when they weren't playing good.
Cunningham is in. Peete is out. Down to the sideline, and Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, what we know is that Rodney Peete is a little woozy. It's not a concussion, but he's apparently just a little woozy from the number of hits that he's been taking today. Apparently, his return is questionable. Back to you.
Thank you, Pam. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Now at the 36 of the Giants. And off again to Ricky Waters. Waters breaks by 1, then is finally brought down by Marcus Buckley, making his first start today in the National Football League.
And here's Waters going away from the blocking back. This isn't done much. The blocking back's over here, so you think the play's here. No way. He's running over this way, trying to give you misdirection.
It's a good call.
Good run after contact.
2nd down and 6 from the Giant 32 for Philadelphia, leading 14-6. Cunningham with time. Here he goes. This is his most dangerous position. He's got the first down, and he's out of bounds at the 26-yard line of the New York Giants. Now for a McDonald's game break, let's go back to Hollywood, and here's James Brown.
Kevin, Indianapolis playing fired up. Take a look. Jim Harbaugh dropping back. Watch the tight end drag across the middle. Bulls his way to pay dirt. Indianapolis on top of San Fran. 12-7 in the 3rd. Back to Kevin and Jerry.
That's the rookie tight end, Dilger out of Illinois.
The game we had was his first start, and they said they could get rid of his backup, the regular starter. They liked that tight end.
Cunningham in for the injured Rodney Peete. First down and 10. Just outside the 25, and the handoff. Ricky Waters perusing the middle. Works to the 22, 23-yard line. On him is Hamilton. Also some help from Ray Agnew.
We just saw the Colts on the replay. Remember me telling you about the Baltimore late. This was named after the Colts, and here's the ball. It's unusual. The fullback goes through, and the halfback follows, and that play was named after the Colts, and that's called a Baltimore late.
L-A-T-E.
L-A-T-E.
2nd down and 6, down to 8:45 in the 3rd quarter. 7th play of the Randall Cunningham orchestrated drive, and that play is blown dead before it's allowed to start. Ron Blum is our referee today here in Giant Stadium. What has become an absolutely
Prior to the snap, 83 offense, false start, 5 yards, repeat 2nd down.
perfect autumn afternoon. 83 is Ed Webb. This game is presented by authority of the NFL and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. The penalty moves him back now. 2nd down and 11 yards to go with it resting at the 28-yard line of the Giants. Cunningham. Barnett incomplete. Good coverage by the Giants.
Nice coverage. They came in with the nickel, and Tito can play. He's had a little bit of injury, but Tito Wooten is a man that can play. He'll come off to your left. You can't see him. He's on the slot. Throwing the slant, and look at Tito get his left hand right in there. Right hand on the hip and left hand on the ball. Just the way you're supposed to do it. Future star for the Giants. Plays only in the nickel, plays in the long down, but I think sooner or later he's the guy that you got to play full time.
It's 3rd and 11 from the 28-yard line for the Eagles. Up 14-6. Cunningham is in there. Cunningham throws him back of his receiver. That was Calvin Williams as Vincey Glenn was on the blitz and in the face of Cunningham.
Vincey Glenn, here's their leader. Here's the guy that the Giants follow, and there's a blitz and made Cunningham bring the ball out way before he wanted. He's lined up there. He's going to line up, and they're all going to come off the left, and he tries to throw the slant right where here he comes. There's Vincey, and they're all blitzing. Receiver was not ready.